Solve the equation minus c squared is equal to 25 minus 10c. Notice first of all that this is what's called a quadratic equation. We have a c squared term, a c term, and a constant term. So our strategy will be to try to obtain a zero on one side of the equation and then factor or use the quadratic formula if factoring does not work. So let's go ahead and first of all just rewrite the equation. We have minus c squared is equal to 25 minus 10c. We want to obtain 0 on one side of the equation. We see that there's only one term on the left, so in order to undo the minus c squared, we could add c squared to both sides. So we'll add c squared on the left, and we'll add c squared on the right. On the left, we obtain the number 0. On the right, let's go ahead and rearrange the terms in descending powers of c. So we'll write the c squared first, minus 10c second, and plus 25 third. This will make it easier for us to factor. So now that we've obtained 0 on one side, we factor the right-hand side of the equation. To factor means to rewrite the polynomial as a product, so we put a set of parentheses to indicate multiplication. And then we'll think about the FOILing method in reverse. We want the two first terms to multiply to c squared. So c times c gives us c squared. So each of the first terms is c. Next, we want to make sure that the product of the last terms is 25. And we also want to make sure that when we add the product of the outer and the inner terms, that we end up with minus 10c. So we're thinking of two numbers that when multiplied give us 25, and when added together give us negative 10. So those two numbers are negative 5 and minus 5. And we can double check using the FOILing method. C times c gives us c squared, minus 5c minus 5c gives us minus 10c, and minus 5 times minus 5 gives us 25. So this factorization works. Well, now that we've factored, we can use the zero factor principle. In order for a product to be 0, one of the factors has to be 0. Well, in this case, the two factors are exactly the same. So what that means is that 0 must be equal to c minus 5. When we add 5 to both sides, we get c is equal to 5. So the only solution to this particular equation is 5. The solution set is the set containing the number 5. Now it is good to check and make sure that the solution actually satisfies the original equation. So let's do a check. If we check, we have our original equation minus c squared, so we want to substitute 5 for each c in the equation. So notice that wherever we had a c in the original equation, we've replaced it with the number 5. So minus c squared is equal to 25 minus 10 times c. Now we go ahead and simplify each side. The square of 5 is 25, and the opposite of that is negative 25. And on the right-hand side, 10 times 5 is 50, and 25 minus 50 is also negative 25. negative 25 equals negative 5, our solution checks, and so we know that 5 is indeed the solution.